Hello, this is Brodsky with Windy City Legal, where we focus on estate planning and real estate issues. In this segment, I want to talk about sellers evaluating multiple real estate offers. So right now, the market is very heated, and a lot of people that are listing their property for sale are getting multiple offers. And so how do you know which one's the best? There's a lot of factors. Obviously, the purchase price being offered is one of them, and as far as that goes, more is more. But there are a few other considerations that I often recommend taking in mind. So, first of all, once you look at the various price points being offered, the question is, how are they being financed? Cash is obviously, from a seller's perspective, the most secure, the most likely to go forward through completion of the closing. A lot of deals, however, carry a mortgage contingency, which means that the buyer needs to get the mortgage loan approved in order to be able to close. And so the question there is, if all the offers being considered have a mortgage contingency, then what is the amount of the loan to value? So the higher the loan to value, it expresses a percentage, right? Then the lower the down payment. So as a seller, you like to see a higher amount of down payment because that tends to suggest that the buyer is in a secure financial position and that the loan is likely to get approved. Another reason for that is that if there's an appraisal which comes in a little bit low, then the buyer is not likely to be derailed in getting their mortgage approved. So an appraisal is something that the banks will do to just make sure that the loan that they are issuing is supported by the property value. So that's something that can be looked at as well. There are also a few other contingencies in the contract that you might want to take a look at. One of those is whether the offer is being made on an as-is basis. As is exactly what it sounds like, that the buyer is coming forward and saying that they will accept the property without worrying about adjustments for small condition issues. The as-is provision allows them to do an inspection, and if there are major problems with the property, like the roof is leaking, the walls are falling down, the foundation has cracks that are causing problems, then they can get out of the contract. But they're not going to come back and say, hey, there are these minor issues and we want more money off the purchase price. So an as-is provision offered by a buyer is going to be a more secure contract for a seller to accept. Also, are there any contingencies that the buyer needs to sell their current residence before they are able to purchase the one that you're trying to sell? Obviously, that is going to be a condition that is going to decrease the security of that offer, right? Because there's something else that they have to do, that the buyer has to do, that you have no control over before the buyer can close. So contracts without that kind of a contingency are going to be a stronger offer for a seller to take a look at. And lastly, if there are any other qualifications, considerations, requirements that the buyer is throwing into the contract that the seller may be able to bypass with a different offer from a different person, if those conditions are onerous, they may be something that you want to take into account as you are considering those offers. So hopefully that gives you a couple of considerations for how to go through various offers. It's nice to be in a position where, as a seller, you have multiple offers to consider, so hopefully this provides some useful guidance. If you are watching this video and thinking about somebody who is going through the sale process now or is thinking about going through the sale process, feel free to share this video with them. And if you have any comments or questions, you can always leave those. And lastly, if there are any real estate questions that you'd like to ask us, feel free to reach out to us here at Windy City Legal. simply go to windycitylegal.com/real estate, and there will be a way for you to get in touch with us. You can ask us questions, and if you need help with any transactions, feel free to let us know. Until next time, I'm Ian Brodsky with Windy City Legal. Thanks so much for listening. I appreciate you guys, and look forward to chatting with you again soon.